The Detroit Pistons have not been a franchise worthy of the spotlight in a very, very long time. Pretty much any time the Pistons would be in the news, it would be so that we could make fun of them. Greg Monroe, Josh Smith, and Andre Drummond. I mean, that's just hilarious that they really did that. But now the dark days appear to be ending, and they have a bright future with their star player, Cade Cunningham. Before I continue on with this video, if you end up enjoying this video, then please be sure to subscribe. It only makes sense that if you enjoy this content, you would want to see more of this content, and you get it in your sub box by, imagine this, subscribing. Also drop a like, it only takes 1 second, and it makes a massive difference in how the video performs in the YouTube algorithm. Cade Cunningham's potential, I feel, has somehow gone under the radar, mostly due to the success of people who were drafted after him. Looking at his draft class, guys like Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, and hell, even Jalen Green really outshined him. And in the case of two of those guys, that was for a fair reason. Both Evan and Scotty were fantastic right out of the gate. Meanwhile, Cade took a little bit to actually be a good NBA player. You can really see the tale of how Cade Cunningham gradually went from bad to pretty damn good as the season went along, as you look at his game log. In his first 20 NBA games, he averaged 15, 6, and 4.5 assists on 48% true shooting percentage. But looking at the last 44 games he played, he averaged 18, 5, and 6 assists on 52% true shooting. And if you want to get an even greater feel of the gradual difference as the season went along, in his last 20 games specifically, he averaged 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 6.5 assists on 53% true shooting. His efficiency is not amazing, not just in regards to his actual shooting and his true shooting, but also his assist to turnover ratio. One thing that Cade did not consistently improve at as the season went along was his turnovers. They were pretty much hovering just below 4 for the entire year. But you can definitely see the type of stat sheet stuffing potential that Cade has, even if the efficiency doesn't always blow your mind. Though going forward, it is worth mention that these issues are issues that rookie guards often have, so they could be expected to be hammered out to some extent or another relatively soon. His shooting efficiency, specifically his true shooting percentage, which to me is the least flawed efficiency stat. They're all flawed, but I think it's the least one. It overvalues free throws a little bit, but that's about as far as it goes bad-wise to me. But regardless of what particular efficiency metric you want to look at with Cade, he's not blowing any of them out of the water, and that's luckily something that I expect to improve with time. Cade's 3-ball was all over the place last season. 1 month he would be really bad, and then 1 month he'd be pretty damn solid, and then back and forth over and over again. He just could not get consistent with it whatsoever. However, with him being a really good free throw shooter, a league average mid-range shooter on decent volume, which for a rookie guard is great, and him shooting with the confidence that he does as well as the nice form that he has, I am confident that Cade can be a pretty good three-point shooter. If I had to guess, I'd say next year he's probably league average efficiency wise and is taking like 6, maybe on the high end, even 7 3-point attempts per game with a healthy mix of catch and shoots and pull-ups. The area that concerns me more than his 3-point percentage is actually his attempts at the line, because regardless of where you're looking at him throughout the season, even towards the latter half of the year where he was more aggressive, he still doesn't even crack 4 free throw attempts per game. For someone who's going to dominate the ball to the extent that he does and shoot the ball to the extent that he does, he's going to need to get to the free throw line more consistently to have efficient offensive creation. He needs to be physical and absorb contact and also finish through it relatively well. The best scorers in basketball are always guys who get to the line, and if Cade wants to be an efficient 25 point per game type of guy, which I think is entirely in the cards for him, he needs to stop shying away from contact. I'm sure a small part of that, and I'm sure some Pistons fans would say this to justify it, that he's a rookie and he's not getting star level calls yet and eventually he will. Sure, that might make a little bit of a difference, but if he's going to be a big time scorer, he has very clearly shown signs of shying away from contact, and that needs to be adjusted for. And that not only affects his free throws, but it affects next is finishing at the rim. He's not great thus far from his rookie year at finishing in the paint, and that's because he shies away from contact, and instead of going straight up, he'll try and do some acrobatic thing that doesn't always go in and is a lower percentage shot. If he goes just straight up, he either gets fouled, which results in free throws, which is great, and doesn't result in a missed shot if it doesn't go in, or because he went straight up, it's more likely to go in. His mid-range shot being league average on the volume he takes it is a very encouraging sign from a rookie player, especially a point guard. Operating out of the pick and roll, having a mid-range pull-up can make that action extremely difficult to guard. Chris Paul made an entire career off of that. And while his playmaking is not generational in the way that like you would build your team's offensive system around his ability to pass, he is a good enough passer to be your primary playmaker already, and he's definitely going to make the lives of a couple of players on his team a lot better, guys who are play finishers like Saddiq Bey and Marvin Bagley, for example. And I really think big men especially, because if there's anything that Cade is really talented at passing-wise to me, would be interior passing, whether it's like a lob type thing for someone who has good post position to get them an easier look at the rim, and just putting the ball exactly where it needs to be in a crowded space. He's pretty good at it, although sometimes he gets ambitious with it, and that's why he has so many damn turnovers. If I had to predict a stat line for Cade next season, I'd probably guess it's somewhat similar to what he averaged to close this season. Let's say about 22 points, 5 rebounds, 6 to 7 assists, and hopefully he can clean up his turnovers and shooting efficiency a bit and get to the line quite a bit more. Another thing about Cade Cunningham that has gone completely under the radar is the fact that he is a fantastic defensive player, and as a 6'8" point guard, he has the versatility to defend multiple positions. And having a point guard that can really defend 1 through 4, unless that 4 is like Giannis or AD, for example, that is quite fucking valuable to have. So in Cade Cunningham, we have a young offensive engine who, though he has some efficiency issues that you can kind of expect out of a rookie guard, has also shown all the telltale signs of a guy who can be one of the like #1 archetypes in basketball right now, which is the large guard or large point forward, whatever you want to describe it as. A 6'8" guy that can pass with some of the best of them and also score the ball pretty damn well. That type of player is someone that can go really, really far. While I don't know if Cade necessarily has all-time great type of potential, I also don't think that that is out of the realm of possibility for him. At his peak, I could see Cade Cunningham being a 25, 6, and 8 guy on good efficiency and like be an all NBA level defender. And that is a damn good basketball player, just a matter of whether or not he actually achieves that potential. All the negative parts of his game that I highlighted are gonna have to be hammered out, but like I said a second ago, those are things to be expected from a young player. And so long as he makes the natural progression he's supposed to, which I think he will, because I didn't even include this in the script and I probably should have, but Cade is kind of known as like a basketball psychopath, and like he's very clearly dedicated to improvement. Mentality is not an issue you have with Cade. The fact that he has the upside he does, the fact that he has the mentality that he does, the fact that he has the skills that he does, the fact that he has the size that he does. Cade Cunningham is someone who you should be buying his stock. Let's put it that way. Shout out to Rudy for editing this video, but that is the end of this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for NBA content like this, and peace.